riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. Today we have a 2009 VStar 650 Classic, also a Yamaha, if you didn't already know. Now, the VStar brand, or the Star brand, is Yamaha's name for their cruiser line. They've been using that for quite a few years now, and what they've been doing for the past several years have been building high quality, classic, and also somewhat futuristic Art Deco style. If you look at their larger displacement models like the Stratoliner, there's some cues to that. But in this model in particular, this is your iconic classic, somewhat the skirted fairing look. They do have another one based off of the same chassis and motor. That is the custom model, where it's a little bit more, well, again, this tail is straight, sort of like a soft tail might look, but this one has the skirted fairing, or the fenders in the front, sort of what you would look at maybe with an Indian or some of the Harleys. So, again, Yamaha VStar 650, 649cc V-twin. This is a 5-speed motor. It is air-cooled, and this one is all stock. So as you can see, it is in really, really nice shape. Now I'm going to show you some blemishes here and there, but the paint is really nice. It is sort of like an Arctic white metallic. It's really difficult to see it unless you see it in the sunlight. But again, real stunning, sharp looking cruiser. So for anyone that is looking to have an all day, every day, jump on it, go for a ride, definitely a commuter, gas saver, this is your bike. Now, it is not something you're going to be taking on big trips. However, you could, and you can take a passenger on it, but it's not really focused for that type of riding. This is your everyday cruiser. It is very low in terms of the seat height. We've sold so many of these through the years that pretty much anybody, that even if you're somewhat of a beginner, you're going to be able to sit on this bike and pretty much be able to stand it up right away. There's a little bit right there. A little bit right there, not much. So that's probably one of the best things about this bike, because every time we take them out for a ride, they handle beautifully. So the weight feels like it's all underneath you. Mass centralized, low center of gravity. A little bit of some scuffage going on right there and right there. So it makes it super easy for somebody that is new or intermediate, that would like to ride something but doesn't really want a larger machine. A little bit in there. Now you can see right here, this is where your plate goes, so it goes over top of that. Right there's a little bit going on right here. Backrest on here is a stock backrest. It's real nice, so if you're gonna have a passenger on the back, offers great support, good comfort. Little one right there. Kind of see that. Classic styling with your round headlight, your stalks that stick out far on either side so that you can get a good bit of coverage in terms of your little bit right here. Yeah, you can get pretty close on some of this stuff. Really tiny stuff right there. Wheels are in nice shape. Chrome's in nice shape. You know, they're used bikes, so you're going to have some of this stuff from time to time. Some of that discoloration right there. So it's one of those things where if you wanted a bike and it's a used bike, you're probably going to have some of these things from time to time. But most of the time, you don't really mind so much, because cost-wise, you're not spending money on a brand new bike. And it's really not a whole lot of stuff you got to worry about. Just a good-looking bike. Now here is your choke. It is a carbureted bike. You can see, again, paint is really nice. Great shape. There's a little keyhole for opening this up. You can hold your important papers like your insurance and registration. Oh, there's a little bit one right here. Tiniest one right there. But that pretty much covers it all. It's a shaft-driven bike as well. So super low maintenance. Not really much you got to do with that. Maybe you're checking some gear oil from time to time. And if by chance you needed to top it off, that's about all you got to do, is just make sure the level is in check. But most of the time, it's not something you're going to have to worry about. A lot of people, when they get their bike serviced, it's just something the service guys typically check, and they should be. But it's one of the great things about a shaft-driven bike is there really is not a whole lot that you have to worry about in terms of service maintenance. The nice thing about the overall package that you see here, again, is number one, this is a bike you can sit on, and it's very low weight, seat height. Makes it super easy to stand it up. Very, very well-balanced machine. Every one of us love riding these things because you can get them going and kind of hustling through corners. It's not really what you do with cruisers for the most part, but you can actually do it with these. They're really fun to ride. So for anyone that is a brand new rider, it makes it real easy to jump on, thumb the starter, get going down the road, and not really be intimidated by pretty much a full-size motorcycle. Now, it's a little bit smaller than your, 1100s. Obviously, the 13s and the on up, in terms of their size, are going to be bigger because of the motors, but and the weight too, for that matter. But when you pretty much look at this straight on, it is a full-size bike. So for anybody, like I said, that is looking for a bike, an all-day, everyday type of a rider, this is a great bike. I have a lot of people buy these because they offer so much in terms of everyday performance. So, controls on these: high beam, low beam, left, right turn signal, your horn. Right side here, you have your on-off, your starter, and this one has only 756 miles. That is nothing. Less than 1,000 miles on this bike. So right over here, again, that's how you do it. Just twist it, resets your trip meter, your high beam, low beam indicator, you have your turn signal indicator, and you have your check engine. But a bike with 756 miles that's really not a lot. So again, great shape, very few blemishes, just a good looking machine overall. And we're gonna start it up here. So pull the choke a little bit. Make sure we're here, make sure we're in neutral. I don't know that I need to pull the clutch on this, don't think so, but let's see. Yeah, starts right up. Oh, pull the choke a little bit more here. There we go. You can see the high beam indicator right there. So that's low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. That's your left front, right front, right rear, left rear. It's going to be foot brake and hand brake. Choke's on here, so once the bike warms up, there's not a lot that you got to worry about. snappy motor, pretty quiet. So again, a bike that, you know, in the neighborhood, if you're running it around, probably not going to be waking up the neighbors. It's not a big deal to have it rip through the neighborhood. Real smooth running bike. Key is right up here in front of the gas tank. But, you know, we've seen lots of aftermarket stuff for these. People putting pipes on them. You can absolutely make them louder with some more attitude. But if that's not your thing, you wanted a whole stock machine, well, here you go. Beautiful white machine. Arctic, I would call it, probably like an Arctic Pearl. But something that is going to stand out, looks great. Real smooth running machines. Now, you can go read all the reviews, but we can tell you that our experience with them is that, again, you jump on this thing, you let it warm up, you get going. It is an unintimidating ride. It's very comfortable to ride. It handles, you don't, you know, tip it over one from left to right, right to left, and feeling, you know, there's not this big weight in front of you. So it's super, super easy to ride. This also has the floorboards on it. So that's your right floorboard, your left floorboard, and you have your heel toe shifter, which is actually a real nice feature. So you don't, when you're shifting up, you don't have to pop your toe up all the time. You just click down on your heel. This is a 5-speed. So again, if you're on the highway and you're doing a lot of highway, you're probably going to be in the upper registers, you know, 60, 65 miles an hour. The motor's going to be singing a little bit. Versus, you know, your bigger bikes, they're low in the rev. But these are the daily commuter. This is that fun, everyday kind of cruiser where if you want to just take a jump on it and go somewhere, maybe go for a ride with a friend down to the ice cream shop, any of that kind of stuff, these are great for it. Commuting is such a breeze on something like this because of the fact that they are, you know, a very simple, easy, lightweight bike that looks like your normal, everyday sized Harley regular cruiser, the classic design. Anybody that's looking to do aftermarket stuff, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that we've seen through the years come through that people bob these out. They're great platforms for all that. It's a very, very solid performer. We like these bikes a lot. They are very fun. This is all a stock seat, like I said, stock backrest. Look, for an inexpensive cruiser, super low mileage, you're definitely going to be liking this a lot. A lot of meat on the tires. And so, you know, every one of our bikes, there's the battery tender lead. You can see the rear. Every one of our bikes gets a 48-point checklist. Oil and filter, those are basic things for us. We're checking the steering head bearings, all kinds of stuff to make sure that when you get your bike from us, it's as close as we can make it to 100%. As you can see, there's blemishes here and there. There's little things, but we really try to go through them top to bottom just to make sure that when you get it, it's right. You're just riding down the road, enjoying it. So when, you know, you open up your garage, you look at your bike, that's staring at you with a big, you're going to have a big smile on your face, especially when you start it and you get going down the road. It's what it's all about. Great looking bike. Fun, lightweight, unintimidating, mid-range 650 cruiser. So, if you're digging the 09 VStar 650, give us a call at 717-273-1809. You can see the full list of current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have some financing options available, some aftermarket warranties available. We can, in some cases, ship bikes and deliver them. It really comes down to what is it that we need to do to help accommodate you so that that can be ready for you to go ride. Also, would love to just say thank you so much to our subscribers, all of you folks that are watching these videos. It's cool just to see the different bikes going through. It's almost, in some cases, sort of like a museum in a way of bikes as we go through them. Because we're a fully independent shop, we get all different types of bikes. So it really doesn't make a difference what it is that we get, as long as they're good bases to start from, where we can service these and make them just as right as we can. But it's cool because we have all these different makes and models that come through, and we get to look at them in all their glory. And again, some of the character that they show through the years of being ridden, you get to see that stuff. We just try to take you through it because all these are available for purchase. That's what we do. But for anybody that's maybe out of state or far away and you really want to see what this is looking like, well, this is the bike. Any one of these that we show you, that's how it is in its current condition, sitting in our showroom, ready for you to give us a call or come pick it up. So again, like and subscribe our videos. Thank you so much. And until the next bike, happy riding.